Hey, what's up you guys? This is Junior Trader, and in this video we gonna gamble all of our money in the Netflix earnings. Let's gamble it all, my friends. What do you say? Well, before going further, as always though, none of this is any financial advice, only for education purposes, just sharing my opinion. Please do your own thing and don't gamble your money, okay? All right, we'll take a look at the technicals in this video, guys. So Netflix earnings are coming around. Let's get rich gambling on Netflix earnings. Anyways, so why I am even approaching Netflix from even the intent of gambling here, because earnings on Netflix may change things around on this thing. Okay, now the way I want to approach the price action here is in a multifaceted way. Okay, so let's first go around the price action, go over the price action, and let's take a look at what is the picture telling us on the price action first. Okay, and then I'll talk about what I mean by getting rich gambling on Netflix earnings. So overall structure is still in the downtrend, guys, on Netflix, unfortunately. Okay, now definitely I'll point you to my tools. If you have access to my tools over there as well, you can see, let's turn on my tools. You can see structure is still red on this particular tool of mine. Nothing has really changed here. So Netflix is still in the downtrend, guys, and it's not really helping going into the earnings. I'm not really seeing any bullish price action on Netflix here that shows me that we're gonna turn around. Okay, Netflix has been in the downtrend since month of June of last year. Okay, so it's been in the making. All right, now there's a dark cloud hanging over Netflix right now, and that is their deal. All right, the deal to buy the Warner. Okay, now there has been competition as well, a competitive bid which the Warner doesn't really want to have. I'm just trying to find the article. Here you go. um, Warner Bros. Really are not liking the Paramount, the Skydance deal, and they are leaning towards Netflix, but Paramount is trying to be a thorn in the haystack, or near, well, you get my point, right? I make up my own phrases as well nowadays. Um, so anyways, though, the journey doesn't seem going to be that easy. Now that's one of the dark cloud hanging on Netflix price action, and investors are really not wanting to get back into it. Then we also have Wall Street. The way they trade is, the big institutions, they are near term traders on the price action. They want to have a confirmation that until next quarter there is a clear runway, there's a clear picture. All right, right now what they are seeing is that they don't know how messy the deal is going to get, so they are just selling it off. All right, and the Wall Street also doesn't know right now that well, they know it's going to be very expensive for Netflix in the near term. The cash flow on one of the quarters will be a heavy dent, and that is also reflecting in the price action. Now this is where you and I, as small investors, can take opportunities regardless of what happens in the earnings. Look, earnings may brutally gap it down or may brutally gap it up. I'll talk about where the price action will turn bullish if it gaps up. All right, so but even if it doesn't gap up after earnings, I'm still willing to risk my money here on Netflix. So, and for the reasons that, as an investor for the long term here on Netflix, we are going to talk from both perspectives, trading as well and investing as well. Let's talk investing. So we shouldn't look at Netflix here as just for the next quarter. All right, and we shouldn't look at that as the situation, it can get messy. All right, even if situation gets messy, let's say even if Netflix doesn't get the deal, it's not going to affect their underlying business, their current underlying business. It's the same as it is. Okay, they're going to just save more money, but Wall Street will love it because they have now clear picture. But do you want to wait for that? You won't even know when that happens. right? And so eventually, in the long run, Netflix will come out of it. All right, you just have to have a little bit of a bigger picture here with Netflix case here. And the secondly is that even if they get the deal and there is a bit of a dent in one of the quarters for the amount of money they'll pay, as a down payment or full cash, whatever, in the long run, having Warner Brothers or this deal just cements the grounds the Netflix in such a big behemoth. All right, like it's unshakable company then, right? There's just because there's one less competition, and they will acquire so much of intellectual properties which they can just keep churning money out in the future. Okay, so regardless, I'd see Netflix winning regardless. It's just that in the near term, there is less clear picture for the Wall Street, and Wall Street works on very near term, quarter by quarter basis, and they are not liking it because there is no clear picture, as I just explained you the scenarios. So regardless of whatever earnings does, I want to talk about some investing levels here. Definitely here also, technically we are bearish. I always like to see some structure change. So to the upside or strength show up. Right now there is no strength, guys. We do have a room to come down to $82. I consider that a good place if you don't have a position to have a position. Again, just my opinion. Do what you feel like doing. But I do consider $82 a good place. All right. If we lose $82, we do have a room to come down to $69, $70 around, okay? We do have a room to come down there as well. No brainer, it's a buy for the long term there as well. All right, so you can DCA into it. These cheaper prices may not be here a year from now, okay? And the more cheaper you get Netflix, take advantage of this the way the Wall Street works. Take advantage of this gap right now that you are getting. Okay, usually markets are very you got to play the system. The system is designed by Wall Street because they move the heavy money, and their system is giving you an opportunity to get ahead of them, right? I'm not saying go all in here, but don't discount Netflix. Just because price is crashing doesn't mean it's a bad company now. Technically it's bearish, but for the reasons, right, as I explained. And also for the long term, you are more looking at a bigger picture here. Now let's talk about the trading. So right now we are bearish, and then I'll talk about the earnings scenarios. Oh well, let's talk earnings together with the technicals here, right? So they have their earnings Tuesday, and this thing, if it gaps down, guys, it can test $82. All right, and if it does that, as I said, it's still a good place to pick some, but you can wait to see the price action if you're just doing a trading on this, and see if the candle closes with a wick strong here and bounces up. That may mark it's some set of initial bottom, but it will do some multiple tests here as that level has to hold. So technically, if we gap down, it may take a week around to see if the bottom is forming there at 882. If we don't see that, we're just gonna continue to fall level by level, and we're gonna then pick up when it turns bullish. If you have access to my tools will turn, or the structure will turn green on my tools at that particular candle. Right now, as I just turned it on, you can see everything is red on Netflix right now, right? And when the structure will turn green, you will see a green candle come. That will be a start. All right, that will be an indication that okay, things are turning around. So, and you can set alerts on my tools, everything in a way that you can just pick a stock, set alerts when the structure changes, and there are multiple alerts. You can have bullish to bearish, bearish to bullish, and you will know, okay, this stock is turning bullish now, gotta get in, set your stop loss, and all good, right? Let it run then. So if you need access to my tools, details are in the description of this video. Now, and okay, so that's in the case of gap down. So we are bearish. If we gap down, as I said, we're just gonna go to cheaper levels. For the long-term investment, I just consider that it's a good way to pick up Netflix in your long-term portfolio. For trading, it's a different way, as I am just explaining. You gotta then wait. If we gap down and see the price action stabilizes at one of these levels, wait for my candles to turn green on that particular, I mean on a particular candle will turn green, and from there things will evolve. And then yeah, that will be the time to buy on the technical side. And if we gap up, and as if we can gap up above 83 82, sorry, 92 to 93, if we can gap up above that, that's a turnaround on this thing. Then I don't think cheaper levels will come, and that will be a sign also that Wall Street has gotten their clarification as well. If you stay below 93 to 92, then guys, it's not a technical breakout. Then what we'll have to see, give it then 2 days. If it just stays here, okay, that's a good sign. That's not a bad sign actually. But we just then want to see still a breakout above 93 area. Okay. um, yeah, that will mark this as the bottom on Netflix. So anyways, I see a win-win situation here regardless how you see Netflix here. If from on the long-term side, I think Netflix is an opportunity here. Market is really not presenting opportunities that much nowadays. Like S&P 500, let me show you while I'm, this is Nasdaq 100. Like, you don't want to buy at the top here, right? Like, you want some pullback. The market is going sideways, but not doing a really good pullback either. This is S&P 500. Do you want to buy at the top? No, you don't, right? And there are a lot of things, there are opportunities in the market. Yeah, like I do talk on my Patreon some of the stocks. The reason I'm mentioning is that it's really hard to find them because they are not a buy right now, even though things are falling. Like Microsoft is falling, Apple is falling, Netflix is falling, and Google is at all-time highs. So the thing is that market is extended on both ends. Either it's just at the highs or it's still crashing, some of the stocks, right? So it's so you don't want to buy a falling knife just because it's falling. You gotta, it can get more cheaper. You want to wait for a technical confirmation. And that's why right now, to get in a market, it's just the opportunity on the buying side. You are waiting. And at this time, at this point, I think if you look at from the long-term perspective, I would like Apple, Microsoft, I talk on my Patreon about those. From the long-term perspective, they may still have more room to fall, but and that's why it's still good to wait on those. But Netflix is something that even at these prices, I think it's eventually, even if a small position is taken here, considering it's going to fall more, it can fall more. We are still in the downtrend, but it has gotten its long-term perspectives are looking really good, at least to me. All right, guys, that's all I had for you in this video. And with that, see you in the next videos. Take care. Bye.